It's time for our next chapter. It's chapter 7, Gambling. At breakfast next morning, the children were told all about the bombing of the burglar. I was woken up by the sound of Henny shouting my name, their father said, and when I got outside there was this chap knocked out cold. I recognised him straight away because he was lying on his back with his mouth open, and when I shone a torch on him I could see the repair work I'd done on his upper left fore. It was young Freddie Hooper, Hooper the boatman's eldest boy. "The one with the ponytail, Dad?" said Barney. "Yes, he's been in trouble with the police before now." "Are you going to report him?" asked Angela. "No, I don't think he'll try breaking into our garage again. He was so dazed he'd no idea what had happened. I told him it was part of our security system." Anyway, there wasn't any damage to the door worth speaking of, only to his head. He had a bump on it the size of a hen's egg. "Oh dear," said Henny, "and I broke your flower pot too, Mary." "Oh, don't worry," said Mary. "I've got loads of pots and lots more money plants. I'll give you another one for your room, and then we need never worry about having the car pinched, thanks to the Patent Hickathrift Anti-Burglar Bomb." "We're very grateful to Henny," said George to the rest, "aren't we?" And everyone cried yes. And then they all clapped, and then they sang, for she's a jolly good fellow. Henny looked round at the 5 red-headed children, and their tall, fair-haired mother, and their big, bold father, and thought what jolly good fellows they all were. And here's a picture of Henny with the children eating their breakfast, and you can see the mum and the dad, Mr. and Mrs. Good, there in the background. After breakfast, when the dentist had left for his surgery and the children for school, for the new term had started, Mary said, "Well, Henny, the month is up." "What month?" said Henny. "Your trial month. Remember we agreed to give it a try to see how it worked out." "Oh yes," said Henny. "Oh no," she thought, "don't tell me she's going to say I've got to go. I couldn't bear to be astray again." "Well, what do you think?" said Mary. "Think? I mean, is the work too much for you?" "Oh no." "Are you happy with us?" "Oh yes." "Well, that's all right then," said Mary. "I can stay?" said Henny. "Couldn't manage without you. Did I tell you I'm starting an Open University course in French? We quite often go to France on holiday. It'll be useful. I hardly did any French when I was at school, and George has got none. He just shouts slowly in English. Which reminds me, I must get myself a French dictionary. Oh, and I must go and find you another money plant." "Talking of money," Henny said, "I haven't given you any, you know. I must pay for my bed and board. We agreed I should." "Don't worry about that," said Mary. "You more than earn your keep with all the work you do. By the way, could you do a bit of shopping for me this morning? Nothing heavy." In the town Henny collected a few little things on Mary's list. One of them was a national lottery ticket, and just for luck Henny got one for herself as well. Then she treated herself to a tube of fruit gums. As she sucked one of these, held between her new teeth, she had a brainwave. "I've got quite a lot of money now," she thought, "because Mary won't take any. But she can't stop me buying her a present." And she made her way to the bookshop. "Just look at this," said Mary Good to her husband when he came home for lunch, and she put before him a very large new dictionary, on whose shiny cover was written French, English, Anglais, Français. George picked it up and looked at the price on it and gave a whistle. "Whew, 20 quid you've splashed out." "Look inside," said his wife. On the flyleaf was written, "To Mary Good, from Henrietta Hickathrift." Henny came into the room. "How very generous of you, Henny," said George, brandishing the heavy book. "It's you two that are generous to me," said Henny. "I only wish there was some way I could repay you for your kindness. Perhaps I could win some money with this thing," she thought later. She was sitting on a seat outside Ivy Cottage, her lottery ticket in her lap, watching the evening sun on the sea. "I wonder wonder what you have to do. The children will know. The children were playing croquet on the lawn. It was a very special and difficult sort of croquet, because the slope meant that the croquet balls all tended to roll down towards the sea wall, and anyway that's where the players tried to knock each other. It was also a dangerous game. Henny had found out on the one and only occasion on which she had played, because everyone bashed the croquet balls as hard as they could, and your ankles were in great peril. There's a picture of Henny here. You can see her on the bench, watching the children. You can see the lighthouse there in the distance. When the game was finished, 4 of them came up the lawn towards her, red heads bright in the evening sun. Barney was grinning because he had won. Angela was smiling because she didn't mind not having won. Eleanor and Rosie were quite happy because they never won anything. Behind them, Rowley was still playing all by himself. He had placed the ball in front of each hoop and then knocked it through, the only way he ever scored anything. "Tell me," said Henny to the 4 older ones, "do you know how to do this lottery thing?" "I do," said Angela. "I've seen Mum do it. You have to choose 6 numbers between 1 and 49. That costs you £1. Then, when it comes to the draw, you've got the first 6 numbers that they call out, and you can win an awful lot of money." Rowley arrived in time to hear this. £70 million, he said. A man did. 17 million, the others said. "I don't think I'd want to win that much," Henny said. "I wouldn't know what to do with it." "Give it to us," said Rowley. "I have to choose 6, did you say?" asked Henny. "Yes. Well, look, there's me, and there's the 5 of you. Let's each pick a number. Start with the youngest. What number do you want, Rowley?" "5," said Rowley, "because I'm going to be soon." Then the rest made a choice in turn, and each time Henny made against the chosen number a clean vertical line with a biro, as the instructions said. "There we are then," she said at last. 5, 25, 31, 39, 44. 6, said Angela. "You have to pick 6 numbers, Henny. What are you going to have?" "Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I'll say 13. "That's unlucky," said Rowley. "Which is what I shall be, Rowley. You can bet your bottom dollar," said Henny. "I never win these sorts of things. Waste of £1, really." I wonder, do you think she's going to win some money? And if so, will it be a big prize or just a little bit? To wait and see. Bye-bye.